sustainable and greener future. With its mission of 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel energy by 2030, ADANI Green Energy is driving this revolution with a vision to deliver 50 gigawatts of green power by 2030.
Our goal is to make clean and affordable energy accessible for millions of people in India and all across the world.
At the heart of this ambition stands the Khavda Renewable Energy Plant, a 30-gigawatt site rising from barren landscapes set to become the world's largest renewable power plant. Spread across a land 5 times the size of Paris, Khavda is a marvel of scale and once completed will be visible even from space. Khavda is one of the best sites to harness both solar and wind, where millions of next-gen solar panels align to harvest the desert sun. Along with the nation's largest onshore wind turbines, standing nearly twice the height of the Statue of Liberty, and proudly built in India by ADANI. Khavda will also be home to India's largest battery energy storage installation. What was once an inhospitable stretch of wasteland at the edge of the Thar Desert, with no infrastructure at all, is now a leading example of what can be achieved with conviction and a strong will. With a unified ecosystem, with teams, technology and expertise moving together with one purpose, challenges turned into momentum. And within 9 months of breaking ground, the site started generating clean power. And with this transformation came impact. A once silent desert now sustains thousands, sparking socio-economic growth across the region.
We are not just a team of engineers. We are an army who is fighting to make the future sustainable.
I am proud that project given me opportunity to build greener tomorrow for future generation.
New jobs, thriving local businesses and community upliftment driven through ESG initiatives. Khavda runs on innovation built for resilience. Waterless robots glide across solar fields, conserving every drop while keeping the modules at peak performance. Bifacial modules capture sunlight from both ends, and intelligent trackers follow the sun. While turbines designed for Khavda's unique winds harness energy with remarkable efficiency. At the heart of this vast operation beats the central control room, monitoring every pulse of the site in real time through future-ready technology. From Khavda begins the journey of sending clean power across states and shaping the nation's sustainable future. Saving millions of liters of water each year and generating enough clean energy to illuminate nations such as Belgium and Switzerland. It will also create thousands of green jobs and will offset carbon at a scale equal to carbon absorbed by over 3 billion trees. Khavda stands as a blueprint for global energy transformation and a testament to human resolve, innovation, and India's vision to power tomorrow sustainably.
Right. So, hope you found the video to be very interesting. And so, when you go, you guys go tomorrow at Khavda site, right? So, look out for some of the things. CCR was mentioned, right? So, central control room, it's a state of the art, I would say control center or nerve center, which manages the entire operations and monitoring of the Khavda site. right? So that's one place to look out for. You can also check the WTGs or the wind turbine generators, which were shown in the video. So these WTGs are manufactured at the same facilities which you guys visited today at the Anil's manufacturing plant. And of course, we also use some of the solar modules which are coming from Anil. So that is where our ecosystems are also, fused. Uh, do check out the different type of equipments, or I would say inverters, transformers, whatever you can notice in the limited time you have tomorrow at Khavda. And of course, if you have any questions, you want to engage more, we are there to help you. All right. So what we will do, guys, we will take next, I would say 20-25 minutes through a deck which we have. We will talk more, and you guys can read through the slides. And at the end, around 10-15 minutes, we'll keep for the Q&A. So whatever questions you might have, just hold it off for some time, right? And then we'll come to it. Great, that works. All right, so I will hand it over to Harshit Bhai. Yeah, Harshit Bhai, if you can just give a context.
So, guys on the call can see all of us, and thanks Simran for the introduction. But I assume they must be wondering who's Harshit, who's Hemdeep, who's Manideep, Swaraj, and Vaibhav. To the benefit of all, I am Harshit. Somewhere we get across over an airport, maybe we can recognize and start conversating. So, Hemdeep, he's anchoring today's thing. Then we have Swaraj. We have Manideep, we have Vaibhav, and myself, Harshit. So we all work in one team. Some things not specific really to the core of what we intend to present, but we work in the digital team within ADANI Green. ADANI's green landscape is huge in terms of business. We'll get to that, but we are primarily responsible for understanding and enabling our business through digital initiatives. So what we do is we get into the core of business, understand their challenges, pain points, which of course, when you visit tomorrow in Khavda, you get to see, which we also did when we visited Khavda. And then we come back amass on the digital solutions which we can build to help our business grow further. So this is, as a team, we do. There is an expanded team with us, but we five of us are here to have an interactive session with you. So as Hemdeep said, I personally want to give you 10 minutes back. So we intend to complete this in 30 minutes, next 30, 45 minutes, or whatever we have time at hand. The agenda you see is an exhaustive agenda. And I'm pretty sure after the end of the presentation, you would concur that the video was much better than the slide deck and what we were just sharing over the presentation. So we will share the link of the video. Most of it is covered in the video, guys. But what you take back from the session is the deck. And the time you spend on the deck, once you come back from Khavda, you could relate. Hence, we have tried to keep the deck or the slides as long as possible. We will not necessarily go deep dive into each of the slides. But what the essence we want to cover is what is, the premise of our presentation is how India's leadership and ambition, what is India's leadership and ambition in renewable energy? Now, the global shift towards the renewable space and the challenges of scaling up. So you must have seen the story of going green, renewables, but that also comes with a cost. Not everything is very rosy as you get to hear. So we have an element of that as well. What are the nuances or challenges of renewable? When do you get renewable? When do you not get renewable? How do we overcome those challenges? That will be covered in the first section. As we move towards the journey, we will leave you with section number 5 for you guys to think through about what is the road ahead in renewable space, how it is an enabler for you guys to find or to maybe do something which is path breaking in the space and build something of your own, which is, I think, the intention of the 40 folks joining in the call. So the last section remains very important, whereas 2, 3, and 4 is more of digging deep into what renewable is, what Adani Green is doing from a digital standpoint, and how digitalization, which is very close to five of our hearts. That is why we have put section number 4 as well. So with this, this is the storyline of the presentation we intend to cover in next 30 minutes. Without boring you much, maybe some fancy slides we'll go. Hindi, can we go to the first slide? So, very texty slide, but I'll stick to the 5 words which comes into notice in the slide is energy market is changing, it's evolving. So everybody knows in the day and age, like 20 to 30 years back, we used to generate energies through thermal power, and that was through fossil fuels, and that was our core of generating energy. But the times have changed. Time have changed drastically. There is a net zero initiative. Primary levers of generating energy is decarbonization, decentralization, and on top of it sits digitalization. We are moving into a new market model, and then it's not only about getting some net zero or getting some carbon credits. There are organizations, there are firms which are making profit out of it as well. So these are the 5 key levers we just wanted to just start a presentation with. As we move ahead, some interesting facts or trends we have. This slide basically shows how tremendously the demand of energy has grown by leaps and bounds, and it is an ever-growing thing. So to meet this huge demand of energy or electricity, to the lack of better terms, guys, we need to be very cautious in generating more energy, but not at the expense of certain things, which probably comes in the next slide, Hindi. Again, this is a glimpse of the capacity growth trends we are looking at. If you see at the right corner, the total target which Adani Green Energy looks to achieve by 2030 is 50 gigawatt, and out of which we intend to achieve 30 gigawatt by 2029 to the place you are visiting tomorrow. So, and I'm pretty sure if it is your first visit, most likely it would be your first visit. It is a place which is very close to Pakistan. It is a place which is 5 times of size of Paris. So you can understand 75,000 acres of land, barren land, where we are constructing a hybrid digital renewable plant consisting of solar and wind. So this is the scale which you guys would get to see tomorrow. One of its experience, guys, when I had joined AGL, getting into Khavda was like one of the dreams come true. And take my words, guys. Once you land there, no, you will see nothing left, right, center, apart from the solar panels, huge turbines, etc., etc. Yeah. So it's going to be one of its kinds of experience you guys are going to get tomorrow. And you can see the numbers talking about it, right? 30 gigawatt by 2029. Out of total, we want to do 50. So 70% of the chunk is Khavda only, and it is as huge as it could be, or you guys could see in your life. Some numbers on the left you can go through. These are general numbers, the total capacity of India, how India ranks in the global space, etc. I'll go back to the earlier topic. So the demand of electricity and energy is huge. Henry, if you can go to the next slide. But again, it comes at an enormous cost. So the more we generate electricity, the more we are degrading the environment. There is a huge climate impact with the CO2 emissions we have, which kind of goes unnoticed. But it does comes with a lot of cost to the environment and to the society. That is where renewable plays its part, and we kind of reduce that. Another impact you see on the environment, on the climate. You can get through those numbers and certain facts which are mentioned in the slide. I'll not dig deep here again, but the essence of it is that it comes at an enormous cost to environment, to human being, and to everything we have. But at the same time, if you need electricity energy, you need it. There's no way you will not consume it if even you know the repercussions of or the downside of it, right? So what do we do? So we know there's an opportunity of huge demand, but there is a crisis as well. There's a huge impact of climate. So we move from crisis to opportunity, and that is where the world is transitioning to renewables. So when we say renewables, it's a whole gamut of solar, wind, PSS, PSP, BESS, etc. Hydrogen, green hydrogen, all these terms you might be aware, but this is all what we do to generate energy, to store energy, and then release a lot less of fossil fuels, which is a downside of generating more energy. Again, guys, you can go through these numbers, some interesting graphs you can drill down in your leisure time, but we will share this presentation with you. I'll not spend more time, but the essence is what the need of the hour is renewables. Again, this is coming, the source is CEA, but what this shows is more than 75% of capacity additions by 2027 will be from renewable energy sources. So you guys, potential entrepreneurs in the future, have to think towards it. There are more lucrative jobs for you to do innovate, but saying all that, there is a huge opportunity for you guys in the renewable space as well. It is mostly B2B, but still tremendous opportunity to explore, to renovate, to innovate in whatever capacity you guys can. The cost of putting a hybrid plant or a renewable plant is not too much, to be very honest. There's a dropping cost of moving to renewable energy, and the same is being highlighted in these graphs. Again, I will not deep dive into it. It again stresses on the fact of transitioning into renewable space, but with not too much of a capex or huge investment. The returns are immense to the society, to an organization, as well as from a financial terms to an individual. Before I just hand it over to my colleagues, the last slide of this section, I've put some 16 points here, guys, and I leave this to your purview. Maybe sometime in life, think about this. And these are the questions which are worth answering. And either of you can pick either of these points, and I'm pretty sure you can innovate on either of these things. So I deliberately wanted to put this so that you go back, even if you don't know about it, you research and you think on it, rather than me doing a lecture sort of a thing on each of these. So with this, I mean, the essence is India is transitioning heavily towards renewables, and there is a huge, tremendous benefit we are getting out of it. Again, coming back to the point where you guys are going tomorrow, which is Khavda, I request each one of you to have your eyes wide open, your ears open, and see, and probably manifest. Maybe second time you are visiting Khavda and seeing the complete barren land being occupied. So the target is 2029. We will be completing whole of our construction there, setting up the plant. So what you get to see now is going to be completely different when what you get to see in 2029. It may be that you don't have access to go at that time, but when you meet people, you greet people, you speak to people, I mean, explore as much as you can. I heard you guys are coming. We have visited Election Commission of India, Lenscards of the world, Blinkits of the world, which is of course more interesting prospects for you to build the growing e-commerce, retail, etc. But this is one of its kind, guys. This is not manufacturing. This is construction of a solar farm, construction of a wind turbine, and then the output, what it gives back to society, to India or to the world, the impact is huge. Before we conclude in the last section, we have again put a section where you guys can think about the green jobs, what you can explore in this area. So we will conclude by that. But with this, I would like to maybe get into the basics of things for the interest of people who are not there. Like what is renewable energy, and maybe Swaraj can just chime in with his experience on what is renewable energy, what are the sources, etc., etc.
You want to control the deck?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I can do that.
So, hi everyone. Good evening. Up till now that Arshit Bhai has spoken up, it's about the scale that we are building up. and the location and what we are doing and how you are going to see from your eyes and what is the takeaway, the major takeaways that you are going to take. So now I will be focusing on what are the renewable energies that we are presently focusing on. And in Khavda, if I can say that specifically in Khavda, we are going into a hybrid model. When I say a hybrid model, it's like you can find both solar and wind in it, and which are installed, and there is also a battery storage system in it, which we are coming up in a very few months. After very few months, we are coming up with the storage systems. So this is the renewable energy that we are presently focusing on at Khavda location in specifically. But overall, if I would say, we are also going into electrolyzer business, and hydrogen is also a part of our renewable energy sector, and PSP and hydro is also a renewable energy sector that we are also really exploring, and we are still a Chitravati project is also coming up on it. So if we say next slide, we can.
Yeah. So just before we move to next and Swaraj deep dives into it, the interesting picture you see on this slide, guys. So when you land up in Khavda tomorrow, you will see two sides of the world, and basically renewable business is divided into two sides of the world. If you can just relate two sides of the table, maybe you guys get to see. One side is Swaraj and Manideep. This is where the construction happens, and this is point number 1 and 2 in the circle you see. So we start from business development. That is where we look for the place where we can construct the new project planning. After we have got the site, or we have acquired the site, we go into engineering. Engineering is what we are going to design, how we are going to design. We make an engineering design, and what we are going to do is build the plant basis that design. Like if you construct your house, right, from your builder you get a design, or an architect does that for you. Similarly, for the barren land, where the panels will come, what would be the suitable location, seeing the contour of the land, terrain of the land, a design specialist team makes an engineering design. Then we move into the next. You will be hearing EPC a lot when you go tomorrow there. So E is engineering, P is procurement, and C is construction. So once engineering design is ready, P for procurement is when you procure the material to construct your site. For constructing the site, example of a simple material could be modules, the wind turbine, the blades of the turbine, etc. And then we construct it, and then we commission it. So when we commission it, it is ready for charging. It goes to the grid, and you get the electricity. So this is the left side of the table, or rather the 1-2 points covered on the left side. The right side is O&M, operations and maintenance. So we construct a piece of a land, we operationalize it, commission it, it is ready for charging, it is handed over to a different set of team where the lifespan is 25 years approximately, and it gives revenue to AGEL under operations and maintenance phase. The amount of electricity we generate is our revenue is coming from our O&M phase, whereas the construction phase is an investment, capex investment to build that thing. So you will see two sides of it. You go there, you should ask, which is EPC team who's constructing, which is O&M team who's consuming and generating revenue. And this is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4 you see on the slide. After 25 years, when that operations and maintenance or the plant is about to die, then we dismantle it. And again, we recycle it and use whatever we can to construct a new plant. So currently we are 10 years into the business. We are constructing and generating revenue through O&M. So this is the broader picture of a renewable business value chain, for that matter. Now, I'll request Swaraj to just quickly speak about what solar is, what wind is, and maybe other elements of.
So as the name solar and wind and the base, the name is self-explanatory, but still I'll be going into a more deep dive into it. So as you have visited Anil facility, that is Adani New Industries Limited facilities in Mundra Solar, they have visited, like?
Yes.
So we have visited the Mundra Solar facilities. So there you can see that we are manufacturing the solar panels, and in there is Adani Wind, in which we manufacture the wind the blades of 72 meters long, and the towers and WTGs are assembled in it. And next, if we can see this, so if I could explain this slide, then there are basically four components in wind project. If I can see, so there is a piling that is done, then the tower is placed, then the WTG or the generator which is placed, and there are three blades that are attached to the WTGs, and it rotates, and there are much more technical specification and technical functionalities into it in a way which helps us to generate the power. And next, if we can switch to the next slide.
Yeah.
The battery.
Yeah, battery one is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe next slide.
Oh, so
I mean,
Yeah.
yes. So if I could explain on the battery and the PSP. So battery is basically the first two powers that we talked about is like we are generating the power from the renewable sources, correct? One is the solar source and other one is the wind. But where to store the energy that we are generating, right? So here comes into the picture is that this. And now you can ask the question key, we have so the best strategy is coming up is coming up very late. It is because some strategic movement was there from the distribution side, and we need to store it. And for in the first slide, Harshit Bhai explained us regarding the energy market, and it is also quite essential for us for energy market. So when you are visiting the best facilities, I would ask, like you can ask the ask over there ki why base, and what is the future, or what is the way ahead of the base, and how we are planning to utilize the storage energy systems, the energy storage system going ahead, correct? So these are the questions that you can ask the people over there, and surely you will get a very good answer on it. Yes, please.
maybe Vaibhav, we want to touch on the PSP thing.
Hello everyone. First of all, you need to understand. First of all, I'm Vaibhav,
Yeah.
and I look after the some of the digital projects over here in the team. To begin with the PSP, first of all, I would like to ask you people about the transmission system and distribution system of the energy market. If you remember, you used to, if you divide the entire electricity generation, electricity portfolio, it's divided into three different parts. Number one is generation, wherein there are certain companies or organizations who generate the electricity. From there, once the electricity is generated, it goes to transmission and then distribution. Everything happens in real time. It means that whatever energy is generated as on date, that is to be consumed then and there. And some of the energy is lost in between the transmission. So BESS and PSP are the two storage methods. Unlike at your home, wherein you have inverters or batteries, if the light or electricity goes off, then you store the electricity in that form, and then you consume it vice versa, while your battery power from the inverter, battery supplies the power to the home once the electricity, there is a power cut. So similarly, in case of energy market, what happens whenever we are generating electricity, we have to meet the demand and supply. So whatever is the demand, for example, at daytime, there is high demand because industries are working more, and at night, that demand reduces. Similarly, it is seasonal also. And some of the area of India, if we see in particular season, the demand will increase, and demand, it is basically at in some of the states, there may be power cut, and there based on the various circumstances, it could be rain, weather, extreme natural conditions also. So the thing is, what I wanted to touch upon is that whatever we generate, we consume it then and there. So there are only two methods as of now wherein we can store energy at large scale. One of them is battery energy storage system, wherein we store that electricity. Now there is a concept of state load dispatch center also. So if an organization is generating some electricity,
I have not even started with
it has to tell the
Let me do a recap because
grid
I don't
that
think you
how
got
much
us, but that's
electricity
what I've-
it will be going to generate based on the demand forecast. So in case if I'm not as a generator, if the organization does not meet that requirement, then what happens? There is a concept of penalty, because if you are not meeting the demand at that point of time, we all know that India is we have the one grid, one nation policy, wherein every entire grid is connected to the nation, one grid. So what happens that if there is destability in the grid due to the frequent fluctuations in the generation part, then what happens? It may destabilize the grid, and then severe operation constraints may happen. So what happens? We need to be very precise when we are giving our forecast. So PSP is one of the method. I will now come upon to PSP part. So PSP is one of the method wherein we have two different reservoirs. Every one of us know about the hydropower electricity, wherein the water flows through dam, and what happens? Which it goes through a turbine. Turbine generates the electricity. It goes to the transmission and then to the distribution, and it comes to our home or uh, the end user. So in PSP, we have two different reservoirs. One of the reservoir is called as the upper reservoir. Second reservoir is called as the lower reservoir. We circulate the water between upper reservoir and lower reservoir through penstocks. In between the upper reservoir and lower reservoir, we have something called as turbine. And so there are two things. One is similar to battery, we have a concept of discharge and charge. PSP stands for pump storage plants. So these plants will have upper reservoir and a lower reservoir. When we have to generate the electricity, then what will happen? We will use the gravity and we will discharge the water from upper reservoir. It will flow through the turbine. Turbine will generate the electricity and it will go to the it will follow the transmission distribution chain. Whenever we are producing excess electricity, for example, what I explained you regarding the demand and supply concept of electricity, we have to consume entire electricity then and there in the real time. What happens if we are producing over and excess electricity at say right now it's 1843. If we are generating more electricity than what we have predicted, then what will happen? We need to shut down some of the generating stations or generators. That entire thing is managed by our state load dispatch center, SLDC. So what happens if we are generating more electricity and more than what we have given as the forecast, then there is a penalty on the company, on the generation, the organization which is generating the electricity. To avoid that penalty, what we can do, we can build a system like BESS or PSP, wherein we can charge the system during whenever we have excess power. And once we have the excess power, we can charge the batteries or PSP. It means that in case of PSP, what is charging from lower reservoir, we will use the pump to transfer that water to the upper reservoir again. You must be thinking that in a hydro system, why we are transferring the water from lower reservoir to upper reservoir using electricity and then again discharging it.
So
Isn't
the
it an
sale of the
inefficient
thing
process?
originated
This is the only reason why we are doing so, because whenever we are generating more electricity, we will be penalized. To avoid that penalty, what we can do, we can use that excess electricity to charge our uh, PSP system. It means we will transfer the water which is available in the lower reservoir. It will go to upper reservoir whenever we are not meeting the demand, and whenever we require excess electricity, at that time we can again discharge the PSP, and this way the storage system works in the form of a, I would say, battery. Battery is one of the common example which all of us understand. So if you see, PSP is a very new business altogether. In India, we have Tehri Dam. We all know about one of the largest dam of in India. It's Tehri Dam. So one of the PSP or pump storage plant at THDC is functional as of now. There are many pumped storage plants which are under construction, and this is a new arena where in Indian energy market the players are entering, and there is a strategic roadmap wherein we envisage that 100 gigawatt of electricity will be produced by 2035 through PSP. I hope I took some time to make you understand, but I hope I was able to make you understand what is PSP.
No, in fact, I mean, we appreciate that. I mean, he's a PSP expert, and he's touched upon some important elements which you might not see tomorrow in Khavda. But food for thought, guys. I'll leave you with another word called as duck curve.
Yeah.
So just note it down. Duck curve. Duck.
Just search for it on the net.
Just search for
What does
it on the net. And whatever Swaraj and Vaibhav has told, you could be able to relate it well. So with this, I mean, just the interest of time, I'll move a little. So we had something to show you or speak about hydrogen, but maybe some other time, guys, you can go through the slides, the importance of hydrogen and green hydrogen, and probably we'll move into the third section, wherein we focus on what AGL is doing, what is our vision at most of the things we are doing at Khavda. Will be following in this section.
So I'll just touch upon this section, and then maybe Manibhai can give an overview of what we are doing in the digital. So guys, we are actually building our story, so it helps you connect. If we straight away talk about the digital initiatives, you will not be able to appreciate why this digital initiative, let's say X, is relevant for AGL or power market, right? So again, the reason for AGL to go into renewable energy, we have talked a lot of that. Maybe you can skip this slide.
Yeah.
This is something which is a bit interesting. I'll just take 10 seconds on it. If you guys, any one of you is an investor in ADANI firm or is doing some equity research or has done it before, this is one of the slides you will find in all of our investor decks, right? So this represents the entire portfolio of ADANI Group. And if you see AGEL in the top left, 62.43% promoter ownership, this is a key part of our energy and utility portfolio, right? And then this boxes are not just distinct, they are related to each other. And we'll talk more on that later. Right. Again, this is something, some numbers, food for thought for you guys. This is what Swaraj Bhai and Vaibhav Bhai talked on detail. Yeah, I'll just take a moment here. So we say we have a target of 50 gigawatts by 2030. Currently, we are at 17.2 operational assets. The green colored states where you can see is where AGL is present with some sort of power plant, be it solar, be it wind or hybrid. And these are some of the metrics here. If you just see some of the things which you can ask to the site guys tomorrow, you see this term CUF, right? Just search on this term. What does it mean? Capacity utilization factor. What is CUF for solar? What is CUF for wind? These are some of the key terms, operational metrics, which you can ask the site people tomorrow and just hear them out. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe we can move it. Yeah. Khavda, largest site, we just saw the video. Why did we go to Khavda? Like, why not anywhere else, right? First of all, It's a large stretch of land which was a wasteland in the state of Gujarat, which was available for development. Land acquisition issue solved. Second, if you see the number, solar irradiation of 2000 kilowatt hour, wind speeds of this, these offer the best, I would say, or one of the ideal situations to set up a plant. Land is solved, energy resource potential is also solved because of that. But along with that, as Harshit Bhai was mentioning and Swaraj and Raghav touched upon, there are quite many challenges in building a solar power plant or a wind power plant at Khavda. The challenges can be solved in multiple dimensions, right? We take the new technologies, we get big contractors, go on to the EPC mode, which Harshit Bhai talked about. But digital is a key dimension, right? Which Manibhai will talk on. How does digital enable or bridge these gaps, right? So we'll talk more on this. Next slide, please. Right. This is something which I've been talking about, that we have synergy between our different business. So if you are seeing in the top left, Anil and Ambuja, they are providing raw materials to AGL. Ambuja provides, as you can all guess, cement. Anil is providing the solar modules, wind turbines. And if you see, the electricity produced by Adani Green is transmitted on transmissions which are made by AESL, Adani Energy Solutions Limited. Once the power reaches Mumbai, it is distributed by someone called AEML, Adani Electricity Mumbai Limited, which is a discom in Mumbai. If any one of you is from Mumbai, you may be able to relate to that, right? And if you see at the bottom, ports, airport, and roads, these, I would say, assets are also built by Adani, which are enabling movement of goods and resources to Adani site. So this is how Adani portfolio is generally linked, right? If you guys are able to look at all the screens, right? So these are part of something which we called ENOC, Energy Nerve Operation Center. So we just talked about CCR some time back, right? CCR is a nerve center at Khavda site. ENOC is a nerve center at our headquarters in Ahmedabad. Right, so this is in itself a deep dive, which if one day, if we get time, we can facilitate for you. Entire portfolio of Adani Green, Adani Power, Adani Transmission, and Adani Total Gas. Right, so all the four asset class are monitored through this ENO, centrally located in Ahmedabad. Right, so till now, what we have talked on is regarding renewable energy, why we need renewable power. How do we produce renewable power? What is Adani doing into it? Now we will go into the dimension which I just mentioned some time back. How can digitalization enable the challenges which we are facing? And over to you, Manibhai, to explain.
Just a quick time check for everyone.
Yeah.
Approximately 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hi guys. So the point is, see, now so that you have understood that the scale at which we are, executing these projects, constructing these solar and wind hybrid plants. And if you see the top bar, that's the value chain of how from, from bid to operations and decommissioning. This is what the complete value chain of this renewable industry, and particularly what happens in Khavda. So the complete construction activities touches all these elements at Khavda. And the point is, if you see, Adani actually does approx 8 gigawatts in a year of renewable energy development. And there is a stat that India in this year has added 36 gigawatts. That means Adani is adding 1/4 of what's been added in India. So this requires scale and speed. So how can we match this speed efficiently? So this cannot be done manually, and a lot of digital interventions are required, to bring efficiencies in terms of how we manage engineering, how we procure materials, how we execute at sites. We need to track a lot of manpower, a lot of machineries. So all these things, we have to sweat these machines, we have to sweat the manpower, and all these things require a lot of digital interventions. So across this value chain, I mean, it's available in this slide. It's a busy slide, but you can go through these later. But the point is, at each and every point of this value chain, we have a lot of digital solutions where we can improve our efficiencies. If we can go to the next one. So this is another view.
This
This
is for the Anil guys.
Yes.
You guys are coming from a manufacturing plant. I mean, you're there only. So this is nothing but a life cycle of how probably a module is built. If you see from ingot to wafers to cells, and then PV modules and packaging, and see the intent of this slide, guys, is to show you the depth of digital solutions across the value chain. The earlier one was at Khavda. This one is for Mundra, particularly the solar manufacturing side. I mean, just in the interest of time, money, maybe we can quickly move to the next one.
Yeah.
So these are some of the digital initiatives currently, that we are handling across AGL. So how we see here is, I mean, if you look at ADANI, just a couple of slides before, we have seen how ADANI's ecosystem is interlinked, right? So there are a lot of digital solutions which are particular to AGL. And now, as ADANI is a core infrastructure company, there are a lot of digital solutions which cuts across all these businesses. So when we try to, initiate a digital initiative, so we think of it, should we only start at AGL level, or can we make this solution useful for all other businesses in ADANI? That's how we try to bring efficiencies even in the digital implementation arena too.
Yeah. I think the series of next slides are, and Mani could just maybe give an introduction, because there are quite a few.
So why we included this particular solutions of the last slide, if I may just add on that. So these are some of the solutions which were custom developed for Khavda environment, considering the challenges which we have regarding, let's say, internet, regarding manpower, X, Y, Z. So I think Manibhai will mention or talk more on why we went for these solutions, right?
So, guys, there are a lot of solutions. We have a lot of information on this too, but I will try to touch upon the areas that we are trying to focusing on. So, if we, for example, if we go to the first slide, so we are handling a lot of materials in Khavda, right? So, when I'm telling that we are going to execute 8 gigawatts in a year, the cost that we are going to put here is 40,000 crores. So in any EPC project, typically 70% of the cost is materials, right? So that makes around 30,000 crores. If you see in 30,000 crores, I mean, consider that I have spillovers, I have wastages. Even 1% comes to 300 crores. So the power of digital solution that we implement is going to save around 300 to 400 crores a year. So combining each and every digital solution. So for example, if you are looking at, I mean, the name itself tells we are managing the materials available at Khavda. With 75,000 acres of area, there is a lot of material has to be transported within managed. See, you can find this. You can compare this as Amazon of Khavda or Flipkart of Khavda, where you can see where my material is at any point of time. So if you go forward to the next slide. So we have Pulse. You want to speak about it?
Yeah, I'll just talk about it. So the problem statement which we had was, we want a mobile app which works in low internet. It connects to our ERP system, it connects to our engineering drawings, and is able to manage the field quality inspections which are conducted during the construction process. So we went to market, and we were not able to find a single solution which could cater to all. So that's where we went on to custom develop this application. So this project went on for around 6 months, and now this application is live at Khavda, and this is being used for solar and wind projects for field quality management.
So I have a suggestion, guys. This is an interest of time.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you see solutions mapped on the value chain, this is nothing but we are substantiating it with more data. Like Mani said, the first project DRS, if you can make a note, is equal to material. We are solving a material problem. Pulse is solving my field quality inspection problem. Right. Similarly, every solution solves a particular element in a value chain. And when you read through these slides, guys, you will get to know that what is the solution overview, what challenges we are trying to solve, what are the key benefits we are gaining out of it, and just based on anybody's interest, anybody can pick any solution and can speak to people in Khavda tomorrow, and you will get to know the deep dive of it. I'm just rushing through, guys. Just bear with me because we are just a little less on time. Quickly, the last two slides.
Yes, you can talk on it.
Yeah. So, why digital? So, digital is everywhere, guys. You might feel digital is more apt in probably quick commerce, e-commerce, retail, where we see how digital has transformed our lives. If I need to have a coffee, I can have it in next 2 minutes. If I need a noodle, if I need a potato, if I need vegetables, I can have it through my quick e-commerce. But not only relevant there, digital is relevant in the space where the size of the plant is as huge. Still, there is a potential, and all of the things you see, the smaller circles besides the digital circle, kind of attributes, combines, and gives me the result on the right side. Again, I'll just quickly move. We've spoken a lot about digital, guys, but a very important element I want to bring to everybody's notice is everybody is doing digitalization from like 2015 now. The buzzwords in the era of 2014-15 was digital. Everybody, even the introduction Simran gave was my introduction from the days of 2014 when I was in Accenture Strategy Consulting, designing digital strategy and transformation roadmap. A beautiful word to put in your CV. Now, these days, I'm putting a word AI architect. Could be 5 years later, I'll be putting a new word. So, a lot of things we are doing in digital era. But if you introspect, and I have seen the industry, most of the digital solutions fail because the business users or the end users, they are not adopting it. The change management is the key to any digitalization project, guys. Whenever you are embarking on a journey of digital, from day zero, you have to plan your adoption. You have to look at your end users and to plan your change management. If you put in a capex of, for example, 20 CR for building a digital solution, and you're not thinking of adoption, all of it will go in vain. If your digital solution is not being used by your end customer, then again, I leave it you guys to ask at Khavda tomorrow, how is digital helping them? Yeah. Are they using digital? What is the adoption percentage at Khavda for digital? Maybe any of you guys can give a call back to each one of us and share that insight, because we are keen to know. What we do is not only build digital solutions, but make sure our users at Khavda site are using them to the core. And we are there to even make them adopt and use it to their benefit. So in essence, it's not only digitalization, equal important, or even I would weigh change management adoption a little more on what we are trying to solve through digital. With this, I'll just not speak more. The last section, guys, again, quick time check. We are on top of our time, guys.
Just spend 2 minutes and then we can have some questions.
Yeah. Just not more than 2 minutes. Hindi, you stop me if I'm going beyond 2 minutes. Okay. So, very important section for you guys, because I see you guys are venturing into academics, learning new sort of things by traveling around. When I got to know about this program, I was very, very excited, guys. And I wish I was on the other side of the table, doing this and listening, and someone telling me like this, meeting Piyush from Lenskart, then someone from Zerodha, election commission, and then going to as big a site as Khavda. But nevertheless, what you take out from your visit at Khavda or from this industry experience you get is, I'll not say we have done justice to what we have put here, but then this is 5 of our brain put into kind of 2-3 slides. You guys can drill down more, but it creates a lot of green jobs engine, right? There are ample startup opportunities you guys can venture into. And then, of course, as I started my presentation, there is a huge environmental and social impact. You are giving it back to the society. If you are a real critique of CO2 emissions, fossil fuels, and what we inhale, exhale every day, then I mean,
This is a space for
this is the space for you.
Yeah.
I mean, more than making money, I think you can contribute to the world by getting or venturing into the space. Guys, this is the time to innovate more in renewables. And we would definitely like to circle back with you on your ideas of innovation in this space. Maybe what you went what thoughts were in your mind when you went into Khavda, and what are the thoughts when you're coming out of Khavda?
Yeah.
So let's have a follow-up session as well, Himdeep, if possible. Let's do that. Again, a couple of more slides. It's a massive market size, guys. You don't get to know because we don't have exposure. But lucky you guys are going to get this exposure tomorrow. So make full use of it. There is a lot of cohorts working in silos. But what we feel is the need is cohort collaboration. I mean, whatever you generate, like EVs of the world, I mean, electrifying transport, reinventing the grid, smart grids. I mean, what not we can do. I mean, we have to think through and innovate. Last slide, guys. What is the road ahead in renewable space? Sorry, guys, I couldn't compact this slide into less number of words. I would request every one of you to reach each line of these and then draw inference. But then again, in a nutshell, the market size is huge. You don't need a big capex to set this up. There are a lot of ventures in rooftop solar as well. People are leaving their jobs and doing full-time jobs on that side. There are ample opportunities in this space. You can bring a huge difference to the environment, to India, to the world by venturing into space. So my humble request is go tomorrow, explore the world. It is very different from the visits you would have had up till now. With this, probably I'll open this forum for a quick Q&A. And thanks for bearing with us and spending your precious time with us, guys.
I think we exceeded by, I would say, 6 minutes. Not actually, it's 16 minutes.
16 minutes.
Yeah. So we wanted to wrap up the Q&A also by 7. But we are happy to sit with you guys and take your questions, if any.
Hi, sir. May I ask a question?
Yes. Yeah, Puneet, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. So this was a lovely presentation. Like I have one question for the overall team. Like one major challenge would be the cost of capital when it comes to building these infra projects. I've been an investor in Adani Green since a few years now, and like one of the competitors, Tata Power, is looking keenly to start developing their own InvITs to monetize the asset and maybe expand further into newer projects. Is Adani Green also looking at that as a solution for expanding into larger projects, or as of now, there is no such plan?
So I'll just take it up. So as of now, InvIT's kind of financing model, or I would say capital raising model, is not something which Adani Green is looking for. We are into the bond markets, we are into the private capital markets, but InvITs is something which is not being explored currently. But it's a good point you brought, that as assets get built up, as capital gets invested, we need to find creative ways, so to say, to get returns on it, or to offload it, or to spin it, right? So I think that's a good and interesting point which you brought.
And referring to Himdeep Bhai's point, you can refer to an article that recently got published on Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Correct. So from you can refer to an article that presently got published on Bloomberg, in which there is a statement from our group CFO, Robbie, so Jukshinder Singh. So he mentioned that we are targeting to raise around $100 billion from our domestic market.
Correct.
That is what we are eyeing. Yes.
Right. So we are high on private capital and exploring the debt markets, but not on that front.
Noted, sir. Thank you.
Great. Next question.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Pranav.
Yeah. So how is the pump hydro storage you are transmitting to them, sir? Because in the area, I don't think so reservoirs is possible, right?
Right. So basically, it's set up in an area where there is a natural, water holding capacity, or there is a constructed dam.
So it is not present in Khavda.
Yeah. So,
So
not,
he's asking you a question.
Don't confuse with the
Yeah,
Khavda.
It's not that
It's a
It's
separate.
not there in Khavda. We have other location for PSP hydro
Yeah.
projects.
So you can look
Chitravati.
up for locations like Chitravati. We have few in Maharashtra. Separate locations from Khavda. Khavda is just solar, wind, and battery.
Battery
Three
storage.
things.
So this is the best storage facility, the
Correct.
pump hydro. Okay.
you'll
You-
find best.
You will find solar, wind, and BESS.
Okay.
BESS is still under construction. Solar will be visible to you, wind will be visible to you
Yeah.
in both under construction and in operations.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So Pranav, when you get to see Khavda tomorrow, you will yourself realize
Yeah.
that PSP is not possible. It's a barren land, desert, right? So
Yeah.
it has to be resource agnostic to choose the source we build, right? So
Correct.
it is the best source for, as Hindi said earlier,
Yeah.
for solar generation and for wind.
So
Before
how far do
2015
you-
or so, if I may say, before 2015 or so, the only reason people used to visit that area was for only one thing, Wide Run Festival, which I believe also you guys are going to post your Khavda visit.
Sir, so how far is the line, sir, transmitting line to the PSP?
Sorry, can you come again?
From Kavda it is, where you transport for storage. Like Chitravati you just mentioned.
No. Please understand. See, hydro projects can be made on river streams or wherever there is a water source.
Okay.
And there should be a geologically it should be possible also to build a dam.
Hmm.
So PSP is nothing but it's like a dam kind of a structure in a small scale wherein we have a upper reservoir and a lower reservoir. When I say upper reservoir and lower reservoir, there should be a slope in between so that the water could flow through the penstocks or to make it more simple, through different pipes. So we are routing the water from upper reservoir to lower reservoir by gravity, method of gravity. It is the only the slope difference which can be used for generation of this electricity.
And it's
now
from different power sources. It's
Yes.
not from Khavda. Khavda power won't be stored on PSP.
Achha, it
So
won't be.
that base is there.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Maybe a last question,
Yeah.
and then you guys feel free to write to
If
us.
you have further questions, maybe the team Simran and you guys can collect it and then just route it out to us. Then we will be happy to answer it for you guys. And we'll also talk more in our follow-up sessions, right?
Sure, sir. One last question if anyone wants to go ahead. Okay, then I guess if nobody has.
Yeah, one last question, ma'am.
Yeah, Pranav. Yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Sure.
Floating generation, is it possible, sir? Like solar power ships?
Yes, there are quite a few ways in which you can generate electricity from floating, I would say, sources. So although in India it's very scarce or not prominent, but in China we have a lot of floating solar parks. We also have solar parks which are installed on buildings, on curved objects also. So solar can be installed in multiple form factors. In India, solar module or a flat, I would say, plate is the only way which is explored. But look out for China for more such creative form factors.
probably you cannot commercialize that thing because there will be again different challenges for installation of a floating solar farm. So this is not presently done at a large commercial scale in India.
Yeah.
But it has a future.
Definitely.
Okay.
So the thing is, in India today, there is, I would not say dearth of land. In fact, there is land available, but developers are behind. I would say in the development journey. So once land gets occupied, then water is the next way. And why only water? Elon Musk is already exploring space, right? So
Yes.
he's installing data centers which will be powered through solar power and space. So why not in space? That's the thing.
Mhm. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, thank you to all of you for joining in and giving your time. This was an amazing session. I'm very sure that all of our learners had so much to take from here. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining in.
Thanks, guys. This is some food for thought for you. When you go to Khavda tomorrow, do explore the site in this context. And if you have any further questions, want one-on-one with us, you guys can definitely feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a good evening,
Sure.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Everyone.
much. Thank you so much, sir. It was an amazing session.
Thank you. Thank you.